Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this Rita Berman Europa series, and we have this little group of trees and a bush to do today. Now this is Venice. I'm not really sure what might be on the tree, but I'm thinking I want to do oranges. We have oranges in our basket of fruit, but I just feel like citrus is the way. And when I was in Europe, I remember the smell of the lemon groves being gorgeous, but these are round, so I'm thinking orange. I'm going to go with an orange glaze for my oranges. I'm going to do them first and then think about the tree after. So I'm going to try and do a little more intense colour near the bottom and a bit less at the top. And you could do these as apples, but I think I associate apples more with England than sort of Mediterranean. I sort of think more about citrus. I just remember driving, we had no air conditioning in the car that we'd hired. So we had the windows down and we just drove along this road, and there were lemon trees each side, and you could just smell sweet citrus. It was just divine. It was just, I'd never smelled anything like it. It's lovely. So I'm just going to make them both orange trees, and then we'll think about the colour of the actual leaves. I'm not really sure what colour. I think we'll do a mix of colours is always nice, but green obviously for the leaves. So permanent green olive, I don't know if you can see that, maybe that way is better. And we'll do this will be our darkest colour. I'm going to ignore these loose leaves at the moment and just do the sort of bushy bit and just put down some colour at the bottom. I usually start with the trunks of a tree. Oh, itchy nose. So this is all a bit different for me. So I'm going to fade that because there we've got a sort of bit drawn in. So I'm thinking maybe it should be lighter going up to there. I don't really know. I'm just guessing. So I'm making it lighter as we go up here. We can add layers of colour. I'm going to make this bit darker at the bottom where these lines are, and then fade that up a bit like that. And we'll get some lighter colour in a minute and sort of mix it, smush it all about. Don't really smush Polychromos pencils, do we? That would be a Prisma. It's too hot for Prismas today. It's not boiling, but it's getting there, and I know they go a bit smushy in the heat. Right, I'm going to use a lighter green. I think I'm going to use the May green. We have used this already on this page. I'm going to just start by smushing it into what we've done already, and then just sort of, yeah, just spreading it all around. I'm going to put this all over and see what it looks like. We might want to come back and darken some areas after, but I'll just see how it goes. What time is it? Just looking at the time. It's still it's 11 o'clock. It's fine. I was feeling like it might be lunchtime, but it's actually time for a coffee, not time for lunch, which I will go and get when I'm done with these trees. I think I did look at this and think it would probably be a slightly shorter video, because there's not a lot of different colours and different details to do. But we'll see how it goes. Sometimes I'm surprised at how long or quickly it takes to do certain things. So my husband's arranged for someone to come round. I'm trying to think, yeah, it would have been before this, long before this goes out, he's measuring for the balcony, but he's got a few different ideas about what he wants doing with it. He suddenly said to me, well, how's this going to look? What's this going to be like? I was like, I don't know. You know, I just want something new that looks better than it looks now. Right, I'm going back to my permanent green olive, and I'm going to emphasise where I want it to be a bit darker, because it's a little bit pale in areas. Polychromos do sometimes benefit from a few extra layers. I'm also thinking where this is overlapping here, it might make sense to put a little bit. Like that. Got some exciting tennis to watch later. We're still in the midst of Wimbledon when I'm recording this, and there's a couple of Brits still in playing today. Right, I am actually going to grab my earth green yellowish. I'm just sharpening it. It's really small, and I'm going to use it. I was going to show the number to camera, you can't even see that. So anyone without sound is going to struggle to know what I'm using. But anyway, I'm just going to try and put a little bit as if there's a transition colour between the darker green and the May green. And I'm actually going to use this for the leaves as well. I'm just trying to tidy up a little bit where I felt that the darker green hadn't neatly blended into the lighter areas. But the joy is, if you feel that it looks a little bit messy, you can just keep layering up. This paper can take layers until you feel happy. Now I'm happy. Time to do the little leaves with this one. So I'm going to try and make them dark at the bottom and lighter at the tip. I'm going to sneeze. I don't know why I keep sneezing today. I don't tend to get hay fever. I have a sort of grass allergy. Like when I was young, I used to think my eyes were itching all the time, but then I used to rub them, and I don't know whether I just was irritating them myself. But if I sat on freshly cut grass, I would get a bit of a rash. But I don't sit on freshly cut grass anymore. Well, I don't get my legs out. So if I'm sitting on grass, I've got trousers on. Right, now we've got a little bush down below. Oh, I missed one out. We've got a little bush lower down. I think we'll do that a slightly different colour just to make it a little more interesting. I don't want to go really dark though, so I think I might grab the permanent green and do the main bush, missing out those leaves. I'm going to try and fade it as I go up, so a few more layers down here and then less towards here. Yeah, there we go. And then the leaves in the middle. Let's try the grass green. I haven't reminded people for a little while. If you could please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and thank you to those that have already. My subscribers are slowly growing, which is rather nice. I want a slightly reddish tree. more so than a dark brown, so I think I'm going to start with the burnt sienna. I'm just thinking that, gosh, how wonky is that? It sort of matchy, it will sort of match in with the oranges better. So I'm doing a dark bit on there, and then I'm going to put less towards the middle of this trunk. It's quite a fun trunk, isn't it? And darken that. I don't know what that is. I think I'm going to colour that in as well. I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be white or, you know, background like this bit. But I've coloured it now. There we go. It's quite nice to make it just a little bit darker on the edges. Just gives it a bit of shape. There we are. Now the ground, I thought we could just put a little bit of colour on there. Oh, we did it for the last one, we haven't done it for any of the others, but I'm just going to use the light green and just put a little bit there and there. I just think because we've got this line drawn in, it just feels to me like it needs a bit of green, but you know, that's up to you. There we go. I'm just trying to flatten the page a bit. It's difficult when it's near the spine, but I think that's done. I'm happy with that. I rather think that orange works very well. I always tend to, if I'm doing orange flowers, use those shades of green with it. I think it works really well. You could draw some shine on your oranges. There's some lines on them, but for me oranges aren't really shiny, particularly when they're on a tree. If they're in a shop, they might be waxed. They might be a little more shiny. There we go. That's a bit. But I'm happy with it just as it is. So there we go. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a super day. Please like, subscribe, comment. All that is lovely. Thank you. And happy colouring.